Hello, and welcome to the Distech Controls ECNet AX EnerVue video tutorial. In this presentation, we will introduce you to building intelligence dashboards, followed by a description of ECNet AX EnerVue. We will then highlight the user benefits, and take a look at the viewlet categories that make up ECNet AX EnerVue. We will then explain the system requirements needed prior to installation, and show you how you can get started. We will then conclude with a demonstration illustrating how to configure and use ECNet AX EnerVue. Let's begin. What is a building intelligence dashboard? It is a tool for collecting and illustrating important systems information with the end goal of reducing building energy costs and consumption. Why use a BID? For reporting, which may include verification of energy data, benchmarking, and setting high-level energy use reduction targets. Monitoring, which may include trend analysis and tracking energy consumption to identify cost-saving opportunities. And engagement, which can mean real-time responses or the initiation of a dialogue between occupants and building managers to promote energy conservation. One engagement method that has recently gained popularity is the real-time energy consumption display available in web applications, or an on-site energy dashboard. What are the benefits of using a BID? Energy consciousness, or an increased awareness of energy use and energy waste. The information illustrated in a BID gives stakeholders the opportunity to take necessary actions towards energy savings. A BID also helps you to quickly respond to problems and alarms, as well as reduce operating costs and prolong equipment life. Let's now take a look at ECNet AX EnerVue. ECNet AX EnerVue provides proven visualization of vital building metrics through an easy-to-use browser-based dashboard application. It is a rich internet application built with the Adobe Flex toolset, an open-source framework for building and maintaining expressive web applications that deploy consistently on all major browsers, desktops, and operating systems. EnerVue runs as a service on an ECNet AX station and can be easily integrated with Distech Controls BACnet and Lawnworks controllers, as well as other standard protocols. It provides a web-based client that can graphically display any information contained in the automation control system, as well as related items like weather, occupancy, and production from other traditional databases. ECNet AX EnerVue is user-centric. Each user can create, view, and modify their own dashboard on the fly in minutes, thus enabling them to focus on current or rapidly changing conditions for their area of responsibility. EnerVue's dynamic viewlet sizing and positioning capability allows users to create unlimited dashboard configurations. A library of viewlets empowers users with an ever-expanding offering of visualization options for various types of data. EnerVue allows users to save tabs and viewlets to a shared knowledge library. Users can then quickly add pre-configured tabs and viewlets to their dashboards, providing an efficient way to create, save, and share knowledge. For single sites or smaller footprints, EnerVue will run as a standalone module on an ECBOS AX, eliminating the need for additional PC-based software. EnerVue provides the ability to normalize data such as energy consumption and account for differences in square footage. It also allows for one-click display of selected trends in equivalent units, such as kilowatt hours to dollars or metric tons of CO2. Customizable screen tips enable the dashboard's administrator to present EnerVue's end users with clarifying information, educational tips, or other relevant information prior to displaying a viewlet in kiosk mode. EnerVue options now include the ability for location-specific data and users to be partitioned among multiple virtual accounts. This feature allows EnerVue to be deployed across numerous divisions or entities while segregating users and their data from other operational nodes. EnerVue provides integrated views of facility contribution to business profitability, such as energy cost per production unit. EnerVue allows users to efficiently identify and map the information from many sources, including meters, databases, or automation systems into multiple viewlets. Viewlets can be exported as an image file or as an image within a PDF file. Their tabular data can also be exported in CSV format for instant use in reports and technical documents. Two different levels of guest accounts permit administrators to build views for a target audience, but prevent the guest users from accidentally modifying the intended setup. This feature helps protect important information while publishing information to a large audience. Finally, fully configurable kiosk settings for viewlets, tabs, and informational pop-ups help foster grassroots support, while highlighting the energy initiatives of corporate and public sustainability awareness programs. ECNet AX EnerVue is suitable for a diverse range of users with varying levels of expertise and separate needs. For energy-conscious owners and sustainability managers, the EnerVue dashboard is an intuitive tool to enable comparisons between campuses, buildings, and departments. Using EnerVue's ranking chart viewlet, assessments can be made to foster improved energy awareness. For the owner-operator, EnerVue offers a real-time network status graphical viewlet, which allows for immediate color-coded visual identification of device health or other problem areas in the connected ECNet AX network. For the systems integrator, EnerVue can be used as a flexible graphical user interface by integrating ECNet AX graphics, equipment views, and floor plans alongside standard charts, KPI analyses, and third-party websites. For the administrator or energy manager, EnerVue enables the user to visualize locations that are deviating from their historical performance or operating outside the norm for similar structures. EnerVue can also provide timely tracking of savings enhanced as a result of investment in conservation or capital projects. EnerVue enables clear visualization and documentation for building commissioning, as well as tools for validation of sustainable designs. ECNet AX EnerVue comes with an ever-expanding library of viewlets or data windows, each allowing the user to display their dashboard information in a unique way. Point viewlets rely on real-time metrics that change constantly. History viewlets look at sets of trend data for charting changes over time. Diagnostic viewlets analyze historical and live data to help diagnose inefficiencies or problem areas. Sustainability viewlets display historical and live data related to some sustainable effort. General viewlets are those which reference other sources for their displays, such as URLs. The user should understand the capabilities of each viewlet to ensure their visualization goals are met. Prior to installation, you need to make sure that you meet the following system requirements. ECNet AX EnerVue must run on an ECNet AX station. Version 3.5.25 is the minimum version recommended. It is strongly recommended that ECNet AX EnerVue be installed on an ECNet AX supervisor station due to the increased storage capacity, but it can also be installed on an ECBOS AX station. Any station running the ECNet AX EnerVue service should have at least 5 MB of memory space available. The connected ECNet AX station must have OBIX installed and enabled in the station's drivers folder. Finally, ECNet AX EnerVue requires that the Adobe Flash plugin be installed on the web browser. We will now take a moment to demonstrate how you can get started in using ECNet AX EnerVue. To get started, you will need three things: the ECNet AX EnerVue jar files, which can be downloaded and installed from Distech Control's Smart Installer, a valid ECNet AX EnerVue certificate, and a valid license. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will assume that the jar files have already been installed, and that the certificate and license have already been copied in the appropriate build of ECNet AX on your PC. For further details, please refer to the ECNet AX EnerVue user guide available on Distech Control's Smart Source. With our station already running, we will drill down to its drivers folder and install an OBIX network. From the drop-down, select the OBIX network and click OK, and click OK again. So now our OBIX network has been installed. We will now go to the palette and open up our DC EnerVue palette. We will then drag the EnerVue service into the services folder of our station, click OK, and now we are ready to configure and use our dashboard. With the OBIX network and EnerVue service installed and enabled in our ECNet AX station, we can now access the ECNet AX EnerVue configurator. In your preferred web browser, type in the IP address of your station, followed by EnerVue config. Note that the extension EnerVue config can be modified in the EnerVue service. The configurator is used initially to create locations and map points, trends, and other available parameters from the ECNet AX station to make them available to your EnerVue dashboard. It's very important that all location properties are entered and saved prior to accessing the dashboard, especially the location's conditioned floor area and energy costs. Likewise, it is important that all points, trends, and other parameters that you want available in your dashboard are added systematically, and at the same time verify that appropriate units are assigned and that they are associated to the relevant locations. Finally, make sure that you save all changes. With our location now created and our trends now mapped, we can proceed to access the Ethernet AX EnerVue dashboard. Again, the URL starts with the IP address of your station, this time followed by EnerVue. Again, the extension EnerVue can be modified in the EnerVue service. Let's imagine now that we are a building manager and we have been asked to evaluate the energy consumption of our building. The first thing I would want to see is our energy use over the past few years. To do this, I would create a new year-over-year viewlet. The year-over-year viewlet provides a side-by-side comparison of the monthly value of up to two variables, such as energy consumption, over multiple years for one or more selected months. This is useful for a quick analysis of year-over-year trends by the month. Wow, we can see that our electrical consumption has steadily been increasing over the past 3 years. There has been no significant changes to the building over this period that would impact electrical consumption by this much, so why the steady increase? Before announcing to everyone that they should unplug everything that isn't in use, we should evaluate which load is accounting for the majority of the consumption. To do this, I would create a new pie chart. The pie chart viewlet presents a typical pie chart that the user can set up with a variety of comparable values. This is a type of presentation graphic in which percentage values are represented as proportionally sized slices of a pie. The pie chart is useful for making quick comparisons and discovering the percentage of each variable compared to the whole. A typical example would be to view sub-metered loads within a building, i.e. lighting, HVAC, and plug energy loads. Okay, so clearly plug loads are not our biggest problem. Our HVAC load is significantly higher than it should be. Now I know what system I should investigate. After careful inspection of our HVAC system, we discovered several inefficiencies. We thus took corrective actions and implemented them by January 1st, 2011. It's September of 2011 now, exactly 1 year after we discovered our energy consumption problem. Now when we look at our year-over-year viewlet, we can see a major drop in our consumption this year, and our pie chart shows our HVAC load is now consuming a more reasonable proportion of the total electricity. Before patting yourself on the back, we notice that the consumption in July and August is slightly off the usual trend. Let's create a baseline comparison viewlet to take a closer look at this issue. The baseline viewlet enables comparison of the value of any trended variable such as energy consumption, production, or resource usage for the current time period versus a prior time range, creating a baseline period. The comparison may be visualized either in direct units or through a delta mode, showing the net of current minus baseline values. This is very useful in highlighting changes in performance over time. Okay, so definitely something out of the ordinary happened in July and August. Before panicking, you remember people complaining that this summer was hotter than they could remember. Alright, so let's cross-check our electrical consumption with some weather data. The weather correlation viewlet should show us if the weather was a factor. The weather correlation viewlet enables a user to visually evaluate the relationship between a location's historical outside temperature, or degree days, and a chosen building variable such as energy consumption. This feature can be used for ruling in or out weather as a likely contributor to a change in consumption over a user-defined time range. We could see that our consumption follows the same trend as the total degree days. So our system is fine, and it was only consuming more electricity because of the change in weather conditions. This concludes our basic demonstration of Ethernet AX EnerVue. There is much more we can do with EnerVue for single and multiple sites, but you now have the tools you need to build your own personal building intelligence dashboard. Thank you.